Hey everyone, welcome to the Next in Time podcast. I'm your host, ST Tangarala, and today our guest is going to be Ben Chrzanowski. Ben is a student at UMass Amherst, a Division One baseball player, but also the founder of Techrupt Innovations. Techrupt Innovations aims to empower entrepreneurs, visionaries, and risk takers that are looking to help build sustainable and profitable businesses through incubating, accelerating, and consulting. And so Ben, welcome to the show.
Thanks, ST. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great. It's a beautiful day here in Jersey.
Yeah, nice day in Jersey. And yeah, the funny thing is, I saw that you were a student at UMass. I have graduated from UMass Amherst myself, like in 2017. So you must be enjoying the good time over there over there at that campus.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place to be. It's a very fun school, and it's great to be in touch with the alumni there.
Yeah, definitely. I have also the one thing I will always miss about UMass Amherst is the food, the campus food.
Oh, it's unbeatable. There's no other campus meal you can get like this.
But anyway, but how has the weather been in Jersey at the moment? I heard like a few weeks ago there was like a huge heat wave and whatnot.
It's been really nice. I think it's a little bit of rain, but the fourth looks good, and it's looking really nice here.
Sounds good. Um, in your mind, what has been one highlight of the past week that you've accomplished so far?
Well, there's so many things when it comes to business. I just have my hands in so many different different baskets, but I'd say the biggest thing is really we've been really focusing on scaling our technology team, and we've made five great hires, and our technology team's really flourishing. So that's always great to see.
I understand. Yeah, because the most important thing of a startup is having their product built. And I heard that you do offer these MVP services where you work with these startups to help build their MVP and use that to be able to showcase to their audience or showcase to their potential clients, right?
Yeah, definitely. The MVP is a pivotal part of every company that we come across, and we just want to create this MVP to put a company in a good place to be successful in the future.
All right, cool. So let's get started with some questions in terms of how you began and what made you come up with the idea with TechRupt Innovations. So let's start with your background. Like where did you come from and what made you decide to become an entrepreneur yourself at a very young age? You're about 18 years old right now or 20? I forget. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm 20 going on 21. Entrepreneurship has always been something that interested me. It's not something I always knew. It's not something I was raised with, but I was raised being an athlete, being a competitor, and that really translated a lot. So when I got to college, I joined the entrepreneurship club, and this was a great place to network and just meet a lot of different people. So I met my business partner Vishesh there, and I met a couple other great minds. And this whole startup community and concept is what got my mind just wrapped around being an entrepreneur. The fact that you can grow an idea in your head to a sustainable company. And I just really like being a part of a founding team and being a part of this culture where we foster innovation and growth. And it's just a super exciting thing to be around.
yeah, I heard somewhere that you were also published on the UMass campus paper that you're one of the emerging businesses out there. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. It's great to get recognition from the university for all of our hard work. We put a lot into it, and especially coming out of the entrepreneurship club, it's really cool that they recognized us.
So how's that feeling? Because when you get recognized by the university, that is a very significant accomplishment in a way. Because I remember when I don't think I've ever been recognized by a student paper, but I remember when I once got recognized by a local paper regarding my ping pong skills. And that was like a very long time ago when I was just like, hey, someone came in, they just took a shot like, okay, this guy, I was just saying to them, like, hey, I'm going to be the best ping pong player in the world, which never really happened, which will never happen because I have my sights elsewhere. But I think it's like similar in a way, right? You feel that sense of jubilance and whatnot.
Yeah, it was extremely exciting just to get the recognition from the university and to know that people actually sort of care about this small venture we had. And it is a sign that we are growing. And the company culture started changing is really special. But it also served as like we need to do more, we need to be better, and we wanted to not be a small company at a university, but really grow out of the university scene and be a big company that people can come to know and trust. And it made us work harder. So it came with a lot of different emotions.
All right, cool. So yeah, start with like, so you're originally from Jersey, but then you went to Massachusetts and you decided to start this venture. Like, because usually when you go to these entrepreneurial clubs at the university, usually because I used to be part of the entrepreneurship club at UMass Amherst, and they definitely did have a like a what do you call a 48 hour what do you call it, 48 hour create your own startup create your idea for 48 within a span of 48 hours. I think it was like a quick I can't remember what that event was, but usually whenever I come across a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs at UMass Amherst, usually there are a lot of people wanting to build more like technology based applications, but I never really came across someone who's willing to build the whole ecosystem like yourself. So what made you decide to venture into that sect?
Yeah, so we saw a need. We saw all these people with great ideas. We saw a lot of visionaries, risk takers who don't know exactly what the next steps are. They might have this great idea in their head. They might be able to articulate it well, but they don't know how to put that into technology. And there's so many of them. I think of my mom, my dad, all these people who are like, oh, I have the next $1 million idea. But how do you get that idea into the real world and introduce it to everybody? And we wanted to create a solution for that, like a one-stop shop, a partnership where we work together to create a sustainable company and really build the future of technology.
Yeah, coming to the future of technology. So what is the big vision and the mission you're trying to do with Techrupt Innovations?
We just want to change the way that companies from an early stage start the process. A lot of people either spend a lot of money getting MVPs that aren't really that great, or they just don't know where to start. And we want to just have people be that service and be those providers and be those partners who are an easy entrance into the startup community.
That's good. And so, are you planning on building this huge incubation and accelerator program where you bring everyone from every walk of life into your let's say your ecosystem, and then you incubate them towards a success, or is that the case?
I wouldn't say we want to work with everyone, but we want to work with those who have great ideas. So when we first talk to an individual or a company, we definitely make sure there's a future for the product. We want to see product market fit. We want to make sure that this is going to be used by people and we share the same vision. So we want to work with like-minded individuals who are driven, and it's extremely challenging to find those individuals, but when we find them, we definitely work with them and get the product to market.
Yeah, because I noticed that a lot of startups that when they come into an incubation program, usually come up with a vague idea. But once they start working with some of these special people, like, if you ever notice that YC is what they call I don't know if that's really what they call, but in my opinion, that would be called the Harvard of accelerator programs and incubation programs. Whereas like the acceptance rate is very low if you want to be a part of that and be able to, build your idea and grow it to what it's supposed to be. A lot of major companies came out of YC. Are you planning on looking to build like a program similar to YC in a way where you're trying to create the next big thing out there?
Yeah, so I think YC with the technology component, we are building the technology for our companies, but we're also being as selective as possible. And part of this incubation and acceleration is really deciding what features we need, the best way to get to market, and doing a lot of critical planning and integrating that into technology. So I'd say we're almost the YC of tech startups, and we're the tech partner. We're not the tech outsourcing company. We're the tech partner as well.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what YC means, it's called Y Combinator. Is a major accelerator program where a lot of major startups go through. Some of the most successful ones include Coinbase, Airbnb. they've developed their company through Y Combinator, and then they made themselves who they are right now because of the tips and tricks that they've learned from Y Combinator towards what they are. So I mean, we kind of like we exchange between Y Combinator and YC. So just want to clarify on that. And so, what is your favorite? What will be like some of the clients that you're facing with at the moment? Like, do you feel that there, do you see any proper vision with what they're trying to produce from the client side of things?
Yeah, so we're right now I hear hundreds of ideas a week, and we only work with a very selective number of startups. So we're right now we're incubating 5, 6 startups, and they're in a variety of industries, and they all have a vision, and they have a vision that's actually been tested. A lot of companies lack proper market research. All of these companies that we work with have market research. So I think from the social media industry to financial technology to education technology. We have all of our bases covered and we're changing the world with these companies.
And so, okay, that makes sense. And so I also saw on your website with Techrupt Innovations that you also have a strong partnership with someone who had experience working in Samsung. Is that true? I'm trying to remember that.
Yeah, so Naresh is our great CTO. He's taking care of all of our technology endeavors, and he's also on the founding team of 3 startups that were all acquired. So he is a wealth of knowledge, and we are extremely excited to get to work with him every single day and to have him heading our technology team.
So what is the specialty that Naresh has that is what's helping you succeed?
Yeah, so he has a wealth of knowledge in the startup community. So getting an MVP to market, he knows how to make something that is extremely desirable and something that everyone loves and is visually pleasing, and also is has really good technology and moves fast. It's well organized. It's just a special thing when he gets on the phone with our clients. He brings a smile to their face, but he also brings this wealth of knowledge that you can't really get anywhere else. So we're just lucky to have him be able to work with him.
That's good because the most important thing about a company, I always feel that if you have a if you have a strong partner with a wealth of experience, but also willing to help a company get off the ground, then that's a sign of a good co-founder.
Yes.
And how are you able to balance your time? You know, because you're a student at UMass Amherst, you're a Division 1 baseball player, and also the founder of this company. So how are you able to balance them all out at the same time and still manage to maintain that level of success? What it is right now?
Oh, it is hard. There's only so many hours in a day, and baseball definitely takes a lot of time. I'll just say having really good time management skills, being able to put the phone away and just focus on one thing for an hour, and really mapping out my day to a T. So it's just management of time. That's really all it is.
And so, what are some of the challenges that you're seeing right now with your company that you feel that could be that you feel would soon turn into a strong impact in the future?
So I don't foresee any major challenges. Definitely the state of the market. I think it might benefit us. Definitely less venture funding. We're offering a lower cost technology product, but we're also looking more of a partnership route. So we see more people wanting to partner with us. Then we have no shortage on the technology side. Our we have the ability to really scale at a massive level on the technology side. The only thing is technology prices keep going up, and that's really the only downside of being in the tech industry. So
Okay. And so why is it that TechRupt Innovations is the main value provider for some of these startups?
yeah, so when a startup has an idea, they don't have capital, they look to venture capital investors and angel investors, and they look to raise friends and family rounds. And it's a hard thing to do, but what we're looking to do is provide a lower cost solution, but also be more of that partner and help them do all the development, all the nitty gritty, and get them to a point where they can raise money. So I'd say we're helping people with great ideas get products to market and give them opportunities that they couldn't have before.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there that create these. Yeah, it's another question I wanted to ask because there's a lot of product developers out there, like tech companies out there. Not, I don't say tech like the big tech companies. I'm talking about the tech services providers that are out there, and there's a lot of competition with what you're doing. So, how are you distinguishing yourself from those competitors?
Yeah, well, I'd say adding the whole incubation aspect and not just being an outsourcing company. We're getting down with daily, weekly meetings with our companies, and we're thinking about ways that we can make the companies better. And our whole thing is when one of our companies succeeds, we succeed. We don't succeed by just making technology. We succeed by making a product that will change the world.
That's a very strong vision. So, what are some examples of clients that you worked with that are fostering the strong vision in the future? I heard, like, I mean, we spoke before, like offline, that you're also one of the co-founders for this company called Love Hut that is looking to make a strong impact in the dating space.
Yeah, definitely. Love Hut is a great company and they're really changing the dating game. They're integrating new technologies. They're integrating the idea of hotspots, which is the concept that we're not trying to just meet online, we're trying to get people to meet in real life. And that in and of itself is just a great company that has a great future ahead of itself. So
Yeah, so. What are some examples of clients that you have worked with that are successful that are successful right now? Do you have any, or are they still pending? Are they looking to become successful in the future?
yeah, so right now, Closer Collab, rebranded now as Paperless Now. They're a company out of Canada, the Toronto area. They've had success before us. They're an HR as a service software. So they had a lot of success. Their biggest client was Wendy's Canada. But what we did is we took their technology and we sort of rebranded it. We added some features and we gave it a complete makeover. Put the new tech stack in and we made it quick, we made it easy and really superior technology and we helped them scale tremendously.
Okay. And so what services do you like what type of tech services do you normally provide to these clients?
Yeah, so we have the great team for artificial intelligence, machine learning. We are doing full stack development for apps, software, websites. There's not much we can't do, ST.
Well, yeah, you are the go-to person. That's you're basically the so you're ba- you are the major tech services provider because you're ready to take one's vision and be able to make that impact for what they're trying to create in the future, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So what's your so well, let me ask you this. So at the moment you are in Massachusetts, right? Do you plan on like expanding this service all across the country, maybe even the world or even regionally?
Yeah, so actually we do everything pretty remote. So every most of our work is done online. So we have clients in California, we have clients in Canada, pretty much all over the United States and North America, and even some in India. We have very a lot of companies we're working with in different areas.
All right. So what's your 5-year plan going forward?
I think right now the goal is to keep delivering quality products, and as people see that we are delivering quality products and our companies are successful in doing so, we'll have no problem in working with the next generation of technology and the future of the world, pretty much changing the world through technology. We believe that quality is irreplaceable, and if people see that, they'll have no problem in trusting us and coming to us with their vision and products.
Yeah, because I can picture your your company as as a major accelerator program where you'll be looking to provide more than just simply tech development services. It could be just it could be funding, it could be marketing, it could be just idea build, or even bigger, even let's just say, what else is it? What other components of startups, what
I'd say,
components of services do you provide for startups?
I'd say we're doing all the technology side, then even a little bit on graphic design and social media marketing. We have a team of great graphic designers who help create Instagram pages and short videos for our startups. And we have some great partners in other sectors of startups that we work with as well. So,
All right,
so
definitely. That is what I call a pathway going forward, I would say.
definitely. Yep.
But anyway, so some final questions I would like to ask. So what advice you would give to other founders and visionaries of the future? Let's say for example, yeah, since you're already working with founders, you give advice. What is the one common piece of advice that you normally give?
I'd say the thing I see the most is just a lack of market research. When people have an idea, make sure you validate it and see that there is actually a need for the product. A lot of people undermine this step, and it is pivotal in creating a product.
All right. And so let's just say, even for people looking to develop, so what advice would you give? Let's say if you're working, let's just say if you're a developer and you're working to build a product, how do you normally give advice to those developers?
In what sense, St? Are you
Yeah, no, I
referring?
mean, like, let's just say in the way they develop the product, like, do you have to take usually when you try to find a way to develop, because people just jump, a lot of startups out there, they just jump straight into developing the product without any idea of how they want to build it.
Yeah.
And what advice, because let's say you're trying to take more about, you're trying to figure out the concept and the idea before taking in before going in and building the product itself, right?
So we have a hard job. Our job is essentially to try to see into somebody else's head. And as you know, it's not easy. So our process starts with what's called a product requirement document. And in this, what we call PRD is every single feature that can be in this application, this MVP. And with that, we go back and forth and we make sure everything looks good. Then we go on to the wireframes and the flow. So we make sure the flow of the app looks good. And then we go on to the design aspect, the UI, UX. And after that, that's the only when we start developing the product. So there's a lot of different parts that we think through. I say a lot of the critical thinking comes in those early stages, creating the PRD and doing the UI, UX.
Definitely. Okay. And last but not least, how like what do you see in the future for startups going forward? Let's say, well, where do you have like a particular idea of how startups can become in the future?
I'd say it's definitely hard to predict the future, as you know. And I think if we could predict it, we'd all be pretty rich. But
Yeah,
I'd
that's
say Web3 is definitely evolving, and the blockchain is secure, instantaneous, traceable. So there's definitely a lot of possibility in that sector. So there's just a lot of interesting things happening in the world right now.
all right, cool. So where can we find you right now in terms of if you want to connect, if anyone wants to connect with Ben, how can we find you?
Yeah, definitely just encourage everyone to go onto our website. It's techruptinnovations.com. You could also check out our social media, tri.innovate on Instagram and on LinkedIn. Just look up Techrupt Innovations. I'd be happy to talk.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Ben, for appearing on the show, and looking forward to seeing how your success plays out.
Thanks, St. I appreciate you having me.